You can call it whatever you want. You don't have to call it self-care. You can just call it my life. I mean, whatever. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. My name is Kristen. I'm a vegan lifestyle coach, and I love helping people find their best self through the vegan life. So if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. There's a little red button down below. Just hit it and you'll be all set to go so you don't miss out on any of my videos. Today's video is going to be all about self-care. I recorded a video last week, or I put it up last week, and mentioned self-care a lot because I was talking about my 5 favorite things right now, and one of them is kind of getting back into the routine of self-care. I kind of fell out of that in February, really wanted to get back into it. So I was kind of talking about self-care a little bit in my last video, and I had a few people ask me if I would kind of go deeper into self-care a little bit, just wondering what it is and why they should do it, if they should do it, if it's even really that important, and some examples of how to do it that don't take up a ton of time. So I just thought I would talk a little bit about what self-care is, why it's important, if it's important, and a few just kind of examples of how to take care of yourself. Self-care is super important in my life. When I don't take care of myself, when I don't fulfill these self-care needs that I set for myself and that I know that I need, then I don't feel good, I don't work as well, I'm not as happy. So I think self-care is hugely important. I make sure that all of my clients are taking care of themselves in the way that works best for them. So yeah, let's just get into talking a little bit more about what self-care is. So what is self-care? You probably hear it a lot and you're probably like, well, I take care of myself. I brush my teeth, I drink water, I try to eat healthy. Like, those are all forms of self-care, taking a shower. But what is really like self-care when you hear people talk about it, you know, taking time to make sure you're taking those extra steps to take care of yourself? Well, it's basically just little habits, and they're pretty small, that you do on a regular basis that get you closer to your goal of optimal health. Not just physically, but mentally and emotionally and spiritually, on all levels. So it's not just going to the gym and eating healthy. It's a lot of other stuff as well. So again, I'll give you kind of a list of ideas later on how to take care of yourself. And it doesn't have to be going to the gym for an hour and just working out. If that doesn't make you feel good, that's not a form of self-care. Some people love the shit out of going to the gym and lifting weights for an hour. That's self-care for them. So, you know, that's what they should do. So it's a lot of experimenting to find out what works for you. Find ways of fitting self-care in ways that doesn't take up a lot of time, but that makes a huge difference. And that's the best part about it, is it can take even like 30 seconds of your day and it can make a huge difference. And so if you do a few of those, even 5 minutes total at first, it can make a huge difference. And once you start to notice the differences in how productive you are and how much happy you are, in a better mood you are, and all that stuff, you're gonna want to keep practicing self-care, and it'll probably expand into a bigger practice. But starting small is the way to go. You don't want to just set these huge goals of like, I'm gonna do self-care for 4 hours a day, unless that sounds good to you and you have the time to do that. But starting small is definitely recommended, and then kind of growing from there and finding out how best to fit self-care into your life. Because like I said, we live in a crazy busy time right now. Everybody is feeling really rushed. Not everybody, but a lot of people feel really, really rushed. You know, wake up, have coffee, maybe eat breakfast, rush to work, work really, really hard all day, kind of snack on unhealthy food, come home, you have kids or work or cleaning to do, and the last thing you want to do is exercise or make a big, healthy, delicious salad. A lot of people just want to lay down on the couch and watch TV and zone out and go to bed and then wake up and do it all over again. So these are little things to kind of get you out of that monotonous routine and to get you kind of excited about your day and making you feel really, really good. And a lot of these things are really fun. These aren't a way to reward yourself. So it's not like, okay, if I get all my work done, at the end of the week, I'll go get a massage. This is all part of the process, which is really the fun part, because you get to treat yourself every single day, and then you have a way better life in every single aspect because of it. So it's an amazing cycle. So I challenge you to try to fit more of this into your life and kind of see how it changes for you. So another thing that a lot of people say is, well, self-care is selfish. You know, you're taking this time out of your day to treat yourself or to make yourself feel better, and you could be focusing on your kids or cleaning up the house or, you know, reading a nonfiction book or whatever, learning or whatever. But it's not selfish. If you're not taking care of your own needs, if you're not making sure you're meeting your own needs on all levels, then you are not going to be able to help other people as well. You are not going to be performing at your optimal levels. And why not go through life just feeling great and being able to spread that to other people? So it's really an important aspect to consider if you have kids. A lot of my clients will have kids and they'll say, I just don't have time. I don't have time to take care of myself. But if you can find those 30 seconds a day at first and work your way up to whatever works for you, you will find that your relationships with your kids will be a lot better, that your relationship with yourself and your spouse or your significant other, or, you know, your friends, your family, and everything just starts to get kind of better. So really try to work this in. It's not selfish. It's actually going to benefit everybody in your life. So it's actually awesome because you get to treat yourself and it's helping other people. So highly recommend self-care if you can't tell. So some benefits of self-care is it reduces stress. It reduces the chances of burnout. Like I said, a lot of us will just go to the office and work, and then we'll get burnout, and then our performance takes a dive, and that's not going to help anybody or yourself either, and then you're in this bad dark area. If you take some time out of your day to do some self-care, you are highly likely to prevent that burnout, which all of us hate. Self-care can also help you refocus. So another great thing to do is to just stand up and take a break, even if it's for 10 seconds to stretch. You can sit back down and refocus. If you're stuck on a problem in school, a lot of times your teacher would say, just step away from it, take a break, come back to it later. You might have a different take on it. Kind of the same thing with self-care. When you take these breaks for yourself to make yourself feel good and to take care of yourself in a way that just aligns you with yourself and with the planet and with everything that feels good for you, then you are going to be able to come back to your work and refocus on your stuff. So it's a really good way to help you refocus and just kind of take those breaks as needed. I also get asked a lot, why do you call it self-care? Why don't you call it self-love or self-acceptance? You can call it whatever you want. You don't have to call it self-care. You can just call it my life. I mean, whatever. I call it self-care because it's a way to remember to take care of myself. But ultimately you are working towards self-love and self-acceptance. So the ultimate goal of self-care is self-love. And that's the ultimate goal, really, for everything. So taking care of yourself is really important. I think that a lot of people really would benefit from just a little bit of self-care in their lives. Okay, so now that I've talked about what self-care is and why it's super important, I'm gonna talk a little bit about how you can fit some self-care into your life in some ways that they don't take up a lot of time. Some of them might, but some little ideas to hopefully get you inspired. Some of you might already have a self-care routine, and if you do, you should totally let me know in the comments below, because I love hearing what other people do during their self-care routines throughout their day. So if you have any ideas of other things that I don't mention for self-care, put them down in the comments below. We should just get a big old list going so we get a bunch of inspiration for people. But this is just to get you kind of inspired. I do some of these things regularly. I do some of them not so regularly, and maybe I should do them more regularly. Some of them might not sound fun to you at all. Don't do those. And some of them might sound amazing that I don't mention. So kind of do some brainstorming and write down a list of ways that you would like to take care of yourself. So these are just some ideas. And if you see me looking over here and looking at my notes that I wrote down on my computer, so because I have a decent sized list, it's not huge, but so these are just some kind of self-care activities and like lifestyle suggestions to work you towards those self-care goals. The first one is eating well. This is super important. Eat lots of fresh fruits and veggies and whole grains, and try to limit your processed foods and sugar and all of that stuff. So, but that's another whole video I could talk about, but make sure you're eating well. Make sure you're getting exercise. So some sort of exercise on a regular basis. not just once a week, not just once a month, not just here and there, but regularly. Regular exercise can be really hard to get into the rhythm of doing, but it is so beneficial and so important for so many reasons. So find something that works for you. If you like to hike, make that your exercise. Go hiking, you know, if you like to walk around the city, do that. I love hot yoga. I'll probably do hot yoga till the day I die. So I do hot yoga. I also love to dance. So that's another way that I kind of fit exercise in my routine. I try to go on daily walks. So try to find a way to put movement into your life. If you like to play tennis, do that. If you like to swim, do that. Like, experiment and find a way to be active that's fun for you, so it doesn't feel like, oh, I just have to go to the gym and get on the elliptical machine and then lift some weights. And I used to do that and I hated it. So find some exercise that works for you, that's going to be sustainable and that's fun, because that's ultimately the goal. Make sleep a priority. Find out how much sleep you need. That is huge. If you aren't getting enough sleep, your life is not going to be running the way it should be running. So really make sleep a priority. Wind down a little bit earlier than you normally do. Maybe turn off the TV and just read some books in bed, and just try to get as much sleep as you know that you need, and you are going to be feeling way better than if you just say, sleep's not a priority, I'm too busy, I need only 4 hours of sleep. That's not going to do any good. So really make sleep a priority. Meditate. I like to do this daily. Do I always do it daily? No, but it's a really good thing to try to fit into your life. So meditation, spending time in nature, oil pulling. I have a video on that. I'll link that up there. Oil pulling is awesome. I just oil pulled like 20 minutes ago. So I love oil pulling. It's a way to just kind of detoxify your body and whiten your teeth. So another just good way to do some self-care. Taking a nice long bath, maybe lighting some candles and getting some nice, you know, bath salts. I don't know. Bath salts was the first word that came to my head. Like bath bombs, I guess people do, or like bubbles, or I don't know. I just take a regular bath, or like flower petals or whatever, however you feel like nice and good. And take a nice long bath and don't feel guilty about it. Take breaks, like I said, just get up and stretch. Breathing, you can just do some simple, like now at the stop sign, instead of getting out my phone like I used to do, I'd get out my phone and check my Instagram real quick and, you know, whatever. And, you know, I wouldn't be doing it while I was driving, but like at a stoplight or whatever. But now I just do some deep belly breathing and it just gets me recentered and grounded, and I just feel better than if I were to just pop on social media for a second. So finding some time in your day. So if you don't have time to meditate, just maybe breathe for 1 minute when you wake up. Even if you're laying in bed, do just some really focused breathing, and that's huge. Breathing is amazing. So there's awesome breathing exercises. I'll probably do a video on this soon, because I do some awesome breathing exercises if I get anxious or stressed out or whatever. That really helps. Spending time with your friends and your family and making sure that they're supportive people that love you and lift you up and they're positive is really important. You can journal, you can write if you like to do that stuff. Daydream, if that's something that you like to do, is just stare out the window and kind of daydream, do that. Take some time out of your day to let that be okay. Make sure you're drinking lots of water and just staying really hydrated. You can unplug from technology for like an hour or so, maybe even more. That's a really good way to take care of yourself, kind of detach and step away. And dance around the house is another one that I love to do. That's like one of my favorite forms of self-care, is like I'll just turn on some like dirty ass rap and just get down in my house, and I get exercise and it's fun, and it's just, I have a blast. I could do it literally for hours. Get some sunshine. Even if you don't have time to go on a walk, you have some stuff to do, or you want to read a book, go out in the sunshine, get some vitamin D. It's so good for you. I mean, don't spend hours in there without some form of protection, but get some fresh air and some sunlight. Read books. This is one of my favorite ways to take care of myself that I don't do enough, but read books. Non-fiction, fiction, whatever you like. If you like books, read books. You can do like crossword puzzles or Sudoku or whatever. That's self-care too. Cuddle with your animals. This is high on my list of self-care priorities because I love to cuddle with my cat. So I take time out of my day to not feel bad about like cuddling with him, laying down with him, kissing him, loving him. If I see him like curled up on the couch, you know, maybe take a 5-minute break and just go chill with him. it is such a good way to like take a break, step away from your work. I come back, I feel good, I just have good vibes, and I'm just ready to kind of sit back and refocus on my work. But the number one thing is just make yourself a priority. Make yourself a priority. You are important. Like, you know, you are so important. You're the most important person in your life, no matter what. So make yourself a priority. So I hope that this video is somewhat inspirational. I hope that you're inspired to kind of just do, you know, a few things each day to introduce a little bit more self-care in your life, and I hope you feel better about it. Again, experiment with what works for you. Not everybody's the same. If you have any questions for me, let me know. Put them down in the little comment box below. Again, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel again if you're not yet. Join my Facebook group if you're not. It's growing so fast and we're having so much fun. It's called How to Vegan, so if you're not a part of that yet, please join us. We are having so much fun. I'll put links for everything down below, and I will just see you guys in my next video. Peace. I told you guys I love this shit.